Hey there, I'm Charlotte Fro and I'm hosting Change by Choice. Today we're going to be talking about how to stop the vicious cycle of complaining so that you can add more joy and abundance in your life. So, are you a complainer? I want you to think about this really hard right now. I want you to think about how you show up in your communication with the people around you, whether it be at work, whether it be in your home life, whether it be the complaining that you just do inside your mind. Are you polluting your head with negativity and complaining? When you think about complaining, it really is a prison. It's a place that keeps you trapped from seeing solution, from seeing your part in things, keeps you trapped from seeing people objectively and seeing situations objectively. It holds you back, and essentially you end up playing really small in life. When you think about complaining and negativity, it's like you've essentially lost control of the vehicle that you're driving. That vehicle is your life. That's your choice. You know, the greatest gift that we're given is the ability to choose within our life and to know that good, bad, or indifferent, we have the ability to course correct. We get to really pave the path on how we want things to go in our future. And that doesn't mean that it's always going to be easy and everything's going to fall into place. But what it does mean is that you accept that responsibility. You don't always get to choose what shows up for you in your life or the traumas that we go through, the tragedies that we go through, but you get to choose how you move through them. And that's the greatest gift that we have. And when you're stuck in that internal drama, that place where you feel stuck, you feel victimized, you feel like you have no choice, that's when essentially the game is over. And by game, I mean, that's your life, right? So now's the time where you choose. You choose differently. You choose to own it. And you get to actually have full control. You're in the driver's seat of your life. So a couple things that I want you to do is not only reflect on, are you that person that falls into the complaint, that falls into that negative headspace? And you feel the need to verbalize that. It could be that you're not happy in your job. It could be that, you're not happy in your home life. Maybe you're not in the right relationship, I want you to just think about those areas of your life, your finances, your health and your well-being. Where does excuse, where does complain show up for you? Doesn't mean that it's going to show up in every single area, but I think it's safe to say that if we're stuck in one area, it is trickling into other ones. If you're not happy at work, it might be trickling into your relationships at home. If you're stressed about your finances, again, maybe your family's feeling that. Maybe your significant other's feeling that. Maybe you're bringing that stress back to work. Maybe it's causing you then to not take care of yourself. You're too busy to go work out. You're too busy to go, eat properly. So I want you to look at it as like a wheel, and where is one pulling from the other? Is it affecting your relationships? Do a hardcore audit of yourself. Write down all the things that you complain about, that you feel frustrated about, that you feel like there's no solution for. I mean it. Write it down. I'm actually waiting for you to go start writing. And so that's the awareness piece. You can't change without being aware of what's actually holding you back. And to acknowledge and to say, you know what? Yeah, that's how I've been showing up. And it's not about feeling bad or, feeling shameful or like, that must mean I'm a crappy person. It's not about that. Okay? That's how it was. Now you get the choice of how you want to show up. But here's the thing. I've said this before. Sometimes people get addicted to the chaos. They get addicted to the internal drama, to the drama in itself. Because when you don't have that anymore, and all you have is to take responsibility and to own how you want to move forward, that doesn't always feel so good, right? Sometimes the drama of it, the chaos of it, the complain without solution, that feels good. You get to let that stuff out. Problem is, it gets you nowhere. Problem is, yeah, you're not being built to being a better human being. You are definitely not being your best self. You're influencing and trickling all that energy and all that frustration onto other people. And we all know one thing is that when somebody is in that kind of like more toxic place, or they're negative, or they're not feeling great, that energy, those words, that pushes onto other people, and other people take that on. It's kind of like cancer that spreads. I'm sure we've all been part of work environments where you see one or two negative people, and then all of a sudden other people fall into it, and it just ripples out of control. Our job is to hold ourselves accountable. How are you showing up? You can't control how other people are going to show up, can't control, the outcome of things, but you can control you. And you got to decide, are you going to take responsibility and own it? Or are you just going to go and just be on autopilot and feel good about being in the complaint, feel good about being in that chaos? At some point, something needs to stop. Look at your life. Look at the things that you want to achieve. Think about it. 5 years down the road, what does it look like? What does it feel like? What are the things that you're working towards? Because if they are that important to you, you need to start role modeling the behaviors and the habits and disciplines that are going to help you get to that place. You're going to have to let go of some things that are not serving you. You got to add in and do the work to move forward with strength and courage and conviction, and become really clear on what it is that you want out of life. Sometimes just asking yourself, are you happy right now? Does your life feel really stressful? Or do you feel joyous and abundant? Do you have abundance in your life? Great relationships? Do you feel financially settled? Do you feel abundance at work where it feeds your soul? Do you've got hobbies that are complementing, and balancing your life? Do you have a partner that balances you out? Are you genuinely excited about life right now? And if not, then go back and start to journal and start to write down those things that are coming up for you. And then you got to ask yourself that tough question. Are you willing to do the work to push through and to make the changes about yourself so that you actually start getting the results that you want out of life? Are you willing to add in the pieces that you need, the habits and the disciplines that are going to help you get there? Are you willing to let go of the things that are not causing you any kind of happiness that you don't see yourself connected to in your future? Those are tough choices. We don't take them lightly, but it's important to analyze because it's your life. If what's coming up for you is within your work environment and is within, your time in your profession, that we spend just as much time at work as we do at home and sleeping, right? It's like our lives are broken into 3. And there's got to be something that's feeding you beside just the financial aspect. If it is wearing you down, if it is, holding you back, and at the end of it, you're coming back home and you're miserable and it's affecting those 2 other areas, major areas of your life, something at some point doesn't make sense. We take gambles hoping that things are going to work out. Hoping that, you know what, hey, financially, this piece is helping me out. I can just kind of like avoid the other things that don't feel really good. But if those very things are actually changing you as a human being, where you're coming back and you are creating other chaos for the people around you, is it worth it? We have, I don't want to say the duty. I say this in my mind. You don't have to say things like say this in yours, but as mentors, as leaders, as managers, as that we're creating a space for people. We're setting them up for success. They're spending that much time of their life helping us achieve our dreams. What are you doing to help them achieve theirs? Because it's not an entitlement that just because somebody works for you, that they owe you something. Don't you want to have a larger impact, a greater kind of blueprint with how you show up with people? And again, this stems back to if you're not happy, or if something's coming up for you and you're just used to being in that realm, then that's going to trickle into how you lead your people. It's going to trickle in, again, to how you show up back at home, how you speak to people. And if you're cool with that, awesome. You're the one who has to go to bed every single night thinking about it, or maybe you don't, and maybe now you will. But it's like, let's just think about how to stop this wheel from happening. And that complaint and the drama and the chaos, it doesn't have to be like that. We have the ability to create joy, even in the hardest of times. Because it's not that it doesn't count when it's easy, but when it's easy, it's easy. When things are smooth and flowing and you love where you work and you love your partner and you love all these things, awesome. It's not hard to bring joy and abundance into those times in our lives. But it's when it's not easy and there's struggle and there's hardship and there's loss. That's when we're tested. That's when it counts. Can you find the joy in the biggest struggle? Can you still remain positive in those times? Or does that derail you completely? Because this all has to do about mindset. How you see yourself, how you see the world, how you see other people. And what's that impact that you want to have long term? Because if the very things that you're doing right now aren't leading you to creating peace and joy and abundance in your life, with your family, with your friends, then maybe it's not working. Maybe your way doesn't work. Maybe it's time to shift, to get the tools, to get the coaching, to be able to move yourself to being your best self possible. To having high performance in your life at a heightened and sustained level consistently. Not just these peaks and valleys. It's about being consistent. And you know when you're not on your A game. So that's what I want you guys to do, is to really get it down on paper. Where are you playing small? Where do you fall into there's no solution? It's not your problem. It's somebody else's issue, where you've lost control of your game. Right? Get clear on where you're at. And then ask yourself, are you willing to do the work to move through it? Get clear on that, because it's easy. Being stuck in the negativity and the complaint, that's easy. Anybody can do it. But to look at life differently and to move forward with action, adding in new habits and disciplines, that's tough. To look at things differently and to hold yourself accountable, that's a different ballgame. And if that's you, I want to hear from you. Send me a message. You know, you can always reach me on Facebook, Charlotte Farreau, Change by Choice. You've got my website, charlottefarreau.com. You know, go to some of the past podcasts that I've done. Listen through each topic. Start to find the solutions. Start to find the gaps that are holding you back from being your best. And if you got to make some cuts, start to write that list down. Add dates beside them. Get it done. So only you know if you're truly happy. Not running away from the lessons that you need to learn unhappy. I'm talking about genuinely, this isn't congruent with my values. This isn't congruent with my future self. This is holding me back. This is creating, you know, I'm chipping away. I'm becoming a different human being right now in this situation. Only you know that. So it's not about running away from situations. This is truly is about cleaning up the very things that hold you back so that you can actually have the life that you want and you can enjoy it. And you can just bring more joy and more happiness and just more peace into your life. So I'm going to leave you on that note right now. And I hope to hear from you guys. And I will talk to you guys again next week. I hope you have an amazing week. And be real, be raw, and be honest with yourself. This is the time for change. So get at it.